Modi attended the Paris AI summit hosted by France. The heads of state of China and the United States did not attend because Trump was busy dealing with domestic events, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and a series of trade wars. And the Chinese leader had just received the visit of the Thai Prime Minister. Obviously, for China and the United States, two real AI powers, the Paris AI summit is not that important. There was an embarrassing scene when Macron shook hands with the visiting leader, and Modi also stretched out his hand to prepare, but was ignored by Macron. Of course, Macron was probably unintentional, but such rudeness against the head of the Bharat Empire is absolutely unacceptable to the superpower India. I suggest that the Bharat Empire close its embassy in France, expel the French ambassador to India, and return the Rafale fighter jets in protest. I really don't understand why Modi attended the Paris AI summit. If this was an AI summit held by the United States, he could go there to win more resources and let large American companies increase their investment in India's AI industry. France is not an AI power. On the contrary, the entire European internet data is basically controlled by American companies. There are no outstanding AI companies in Europe, and even in the entire high-tech industry, Europe is marginalized. India's situation is much worse than Europe's. The EU is an ally of the United States anyway. It can give up its independent science and technology strategy and rely on American technology. But in the eyes of the United States and Western countries, India is just a watchdog. When it needs to be used, it is rewarded with a bone. And when it is not needed, it is immediately abandoned, and financial means are used to reap the fruits of India's economic development. Sam Altman also visited India. His opinion is very simple. AI requires a lot of capital and technology investment. India does not have the foundation to develop the AI industry independently. It is enough to use American technology. Instead of attending this AI summit that has little to do with India's interests, Modi might as well seriously study what little hobbies Xi Jinping has. Please China, and let China provide India with cheap and reliable AI services. Perhaps most people don't believe that in the hearts of the people of the Bharat Empire, they are already a global AI power. If you often watch Indian programs such as First Post, you will find that Palki Sharma is very dissatisfied with India being ranked 5th among AI powers in the program. When she mentioned that the United Kingdom ranked higher than India, she used incomprehensible to describe her feelings. In her heart, India should be ranked 3rd in the world after the United States and China. Although the Bharat Empire does not have any influential software companies, chip companies, or AI big model companies, even the IT industry it has boasted for many years, its output value can only match that of several large Chinese companies. What is even more ridiculous is that Palki Sharma got an exclusive interview with Macron. She asked Macron whether France would restrict Chinese AI software. Macron answered very clearly, Europe should not restrict an AI software just because its technology comes from China, unless there is evidence that it endangers European security. Europe should be open to AI technology, and the focus should be on giving Europe more opportunities, rather than engaging in ideological struggles. But Palki Sharma is still not satisfied. She has been entangled in this topic. Obviously, Macron is troubled by her ignorance. In Palki Sharma's mind, India is a democratic ally of the West. When mentioning China, they should unanimously take a critical attitude and isolate China. This can not only strengthen the friendship between India and the West, but also belittle China. Isn't this what India means to the West? However, what she doesn't understand is that Trump is brewing a trade war against Europe, and Europe is at a disadvantage facing the United States. At this time, even an extremely pro-American person like von der Leyen is unwilling to offend China, let alone the French president. In order to cooperate with the United States, France once banned Huawei and removed Huawei equipment from the communication system, paying a huge economic price. But the United States did not subsidize France a dime. On the contrary, Trump has always believed that Europeans are taking advantage of the United States and is ready to teach European countries a lesson. Facing the world's biggest rogue, Macron knows very well that he should not anger China before reaching a compromise with the United States. Otherwise, when the United States launches a trade war against the European Union and asks for a sky-high price, China will also hit the European Union and put Europe in a huge crisis. Faced with the uncertainty of Trump, Europe is better off maintaining superficial peace with China. He will never criticize China to please the Indian media, but Palki Sharma's IQ is obviously unable to understand the essence of the problem. Most countries in the world are realistic. What they say and what they do are based on the actual interests of their own country. The only exception is the Bharat Empire, which can sacrifice its own interests for vanity and become a tool for others. The Indian media is obsessed with various rankings and is proud to keep pace with the West. However, neither the United States nor the European Union respects India at all because it is not a political entity of the same level at all. Although India has the largest population in the world, its government has extremely poor credibility, backward technology, and the living standards of its people are the lowest in the world. India has almost no influence in the field of cutting-edge technology. In the world division of labor system, India has never dominated any industry except cow dung. Macron can tolerate Palki Sharma's ignorant questions, just hoping that India will continue to buy French fighter jets, submarines, and other weapons and equipment at high prices. After all, only India in the world is willing to buy 4.5 generation fighter jets at a price 3 times that of F-35. It can be said that Modi, the high priest of the Bharat Empire, and Palki Sharma, the goddess, showed their stupidity and arrogance to the world during their short stay in Paris. These two people should be undercover agents sent by the CCP to India. Modi is responsible for leading the BJP to split Indian society, destroy India's economic and technological development process, and ruin India's international image. Palki Sharma is responsible for boasting for Modi and exposing the backwardness of Indian society to the world. I suggest that the Chinese government award medals to these two people to commend their outstanding undercover achievements. Modi should not go to the United States. If he is humiliated by Trump and the American business community, it will be a loss. The rise of Indian technology is very simple. For example, China has TikTok and India can develop Big Talk. China has DeepSeek and India can create deep shit. China's Huawei is leading in the 5G field, and India can directly study 8G communications. China's BYD manufactures electric cars, and India's Tata can develop cow dung cars. Chinese companies have world-leading drones and robot dogs. India can purchase corresponding toys from Alibaba and let the Bharat god of war consecrate them. Modi can let Bollywood focus on animation production. Although it cannot create a high-grossing animation like Neza 2, it can produce an animation of India landing on the sun. After all, for the Bharat Empire, which has already used animation to achieve lunar landing and space docking, it is completely meaningless to compare the exploration of the Moon and Mars with China and the United States. Whoever can conquer the sun first can lead the trend of human technology. I have to remind the animation production department of the Bharat Empire that the time to land on the sun must be chosen at night, because it is cooler at that time, and it is too hot to go there during the day.